On the night of November 13, 1974, the quiet suburban neighborhood of Amityville, New York, was shattered by a brutal and horrifying crime. The Defeo family, Father Ronald Defeo Sr., Mother Louise, and their 5 children, were found murdered in their own home. Each member of the family had been shot execution-style as they slept, with no signs of struggle or forced entry. The sole survivor, 23-year-old Ronald Butch Defeo Jr., claimed he had been out during the time of the murders. But as investigators dug deeper, his alibi crumbled, and what they uncovered shocked the entire nation. This is the true, terrifying story behind the Amityville murders, a case so gruesome it would go on to inspire one of the most infamous haunted house legends in history. The Defeo family. The Defeo family appeared to have an ideal suburban life. Ronald Defeo Sr. was a successful car dealership manager, providing his wife and children with a comfortable lifestyle. They lived in a beautiful 3-story Dutch colonial home at 112 Ocean Avenue, a picturesque house that many would envy. However, behind the facade of normalcy, the family was deeply dysfunctional. Ronald Sr. was known for his explosive temper and abusive tendencies. He ruled the household with an iron fist, often lashing out at his wife and children. The eldest son, Ronald Jr., who went by Butch, was the primary recipient of his father's wrath. Butch, despite growing up in a well-off family, was troubled. He had a history of drug abuse, violent outbursts, and criminal behavior. His relationship with his father was especially volatile, with physical altercations becoming a frequent occurrence. The tensions in the household were at a boiling point, and it was only a matter of time before something horrific happened. The night of the murders. In the early hours of November 13, 1974, Butch Defeo stormed into a local bar, out of breath and panicked. "You gotta help me. Somebody shot my parents," he screamed, urging a group of his friends to follow him back home. Upon arriving at the Defeo residence, a gruesome scene awaited them. The entire family had been slaughtered. Each victim had been shot with a .35 caliber Marlin rifle as they lay in their beds. Strangely, there were no signs of struggle, and none of the neighbors reported hearing gunshots. Authorities arrived and questioned Butch, who initially claimed the murders were a mob hit, suggesting that a man named Louis Fellini was responsible. But as detectives scrutinized his account, inconsistencies began to emerge. Eventually, after hours of intense interrogation, Butch broke down and confessed to the unthinkable. He had murdered his entire family. The horrific confession. Butch admitted that in the dead of night, he had taken his father's rifle and methodically executed each family member. He started with his parents, shooting his father twice in the back as he slept. His mother, Louise, woke up but had no time to react before he turned the gun on her. He then moved on to his younger siblings. Dawn, 18, Allison, 13, Mark, 12, and John, 9, were all murdered in their sleep. Disturbingly, autopsy reports later revealed that none of them had woken up or attempted to flee. This fact baffled investigators. How had Butch fired multiple gunshots in a quiet suburban home without waking anyone up? The trial and defense. Butch Defeo's trial began in October 1975. His defense team, led by attorney William Weber, argued that he was legally insane at the time of the murders. They claimed that Butch suffered from severe mental illness, exacerbated by drug use and a lifetime of abuse. However, the prosecution presented a different picture. They painted Butch as a calculated, remorseless killer who had premeditated the crime. The most damning evidence was his ever-changing story and the fact that he had discarded his bloody clothes and weapon before reporting the murders. Despite the insanity defense, the jury found Butch Defeo guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms in prison, ensuring he would never walk free again. The lingering mysteries. Even after Butch's conviction, many unanswered questions remain. The most baffling aspect of the case is how none of the victims woke up or attempted to escape. The rifle used had no silencer, and yet all 6 victims were found in their beds, lying face down, as if they had been paralyzed. Some have speculated that a second shooter was involved, possibly Butch's older sister Dawn. Others believe that the family had been drugged, though toxicology reports showed no evidence of sedatives. Theories range from mafia involvement to supernatural forces, fueling decades of speculation and conspiracy. The Amityville Horror. A year after the murders, the infamous Amityville horror legend was born. In December 1975, the Lutz family moved into the Defeo home, hoping for a fresh start. However, just 28 days later, they fled in terror, claiming the house was haunted by malevolent forces. Their terrifying experiences, strange voices, demonic apparitions, and unexplained cold spots were documented in Jay Anson's 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, which later became a best-selling horror novel and a series of films. To this day, skeptics argue that the Lutz family fabricated the haunting to profit from the tragedy, while believers insist that something evil still lingers at 112 Ocean Avenue. The Defeo family massacre remains one of the most chilling true crime cases in American history. The brutality of the murders, the eerie unanswered questions, and the subsequent paranormal claims have solidified the story's place in both true crime lore and horror mythology. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain: the Amityville murders were real, and the horror they left behind still echoes in the minds of those who dare to look deeper. If you found this story gripping, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true crime stories that will keep you up at night. Sleep well, if you can.